Okay, it's good afternoon, or late good afternoon. What a great performance by those guys in the Admirals Club. My heart went out for them. We keep talking about technology enabling us to communicate in a nanosecond, but that was a tall order, so I thought they did extremely well. So, if there's one thing I've learned in the last day or so here, is that we're all under the influence of creativity. And I'm really honored to be here with you today, because I'm really amongst some of the world's finest and most passionate creative people. Latin America, wherever you live in the world, has this incredible love of creativity. It's a currency, and something you totally believe in, and something that you use to great effect every single day of the week. What I'm going to share with you is creativity without borders, and it's a shift we're all feeling. Our industry is at a zeitgeist moment. The tectonic plates of global marketing are continually changing. Not only do we have technology at our fingertips, but we're also in complete control. We're in the battle for people's attention. Brands are no longer competing against each other, but with the whole of pop culture. Let's take a look.
Gangnam Style.
Who would have thought a music video from a Korean pop star, Psy, would hit 1.5 billion views, making it the most popular YouTube video in history? Well, how could one predict that 5 teenagers from Australia would deploy the world's largest creative brief, the Harlem Shake, and spur a global dance revolution? Simply, the world is forcing us to reflect and reinvent ourselves from the inside out. People live their digital lives in real time, forcing us to follow suit. Now, everything that we do, I believe, is work in progress. Our work has no end. I believe creativity without borders will set the benchmark for cultural communications. Creativity without borders is a place where ideas cross borders, platforms, and circumnavigate the world in a nanosecond. It's a creative approach that propels an idea into a social phenomenon. It's a frame of mind that allows us to unite speed and culture to create really interesting and bold platform ideas that feed society's need for instant gratification. Let's look at how we got to borderless creativity. Let's start by going backwards. Consider what the landscape looked like a mere 10 years ago. Top-down creativity ruled the day. Advertisers and marketeers controlled the means of creativity. Our message was conceived, created, and delivered on our terms. Further, barriers prevented others from even entering the creative game, ensuring we didn't have much to compete with in terms of content. And not only did we control the means of production, we also controlled the airwaves. The dominant broadcast approach meant that we controlled the direction of communication, which we happily designated as one way. Talking at people, selling at people, advertising too. And we didn't have to worry much about conducting a conversation, a two-way dialogue, a two-way conversation with people, let alone maintaining a real-time 24/7 dialogue with the recipients of our messaging. Cultural isolation also kept us largely separated. It's easy to forget just how geographically silent we were in the pre-YouTube, pre-Twitter, pre-Facebook era. Sure, the industry shared its best work on the festival award circuit, and if you could get your hands on a global trade magazine, well, they give you a glimpse into the sort of larger landscape of the industry. But the bigger problem was simply that Tokyo didn't know what Buenos Aires were doing, and vice versa. And this held true for anywhere you were in the world. And if your network's office in Sydney, for argument's sake, created a rule-building campaign for a client, and it also would have practiced exactly the same brief in Sao Paulo, well, the chances are you would never find out about that for a week or maybe months later. So I don't need to tell you that our contemporary position looks much different. In fact, we could spend days exploring the ways in which 2013 is a radically different time. But because this combination of speed, technology, and globalization have so dramatically transformed our industry, it's important to pause, take a moment to reflect on our condition so that we can chart the course forward. We are amazingly placed to benefit from the ever-changing technological, social, and cultural shifts we're all experiencing. Today, I'd like to humbly start by asking you to consider 4 core rules that I believe set the stage for a new era. 1, borderless creativity. Let's take a look at those rules. Rule number 1, cultural fluidity. We live in a hyper-connected world. Today, ideas circulate more freely. Memes transcend language, break barriers, and become equally powerful and relevant in rural Canada as they are in urban Mumbai. My point is that advertisers and marketeers are in constant competition for people's attention. We can no longer assume that we have some divine right to it, because we don't. Every single piece of content we write is shared on the global stage. And the most successful pieces are the ones rooted in simple human insights. Here are 2 examples of work that touched every corner of the globe in seconds. Both pieces were rooted in human truths. And while they were created by advertising agencies, their reach was empowered by people. With more than 4.5 million views, Emma, created by Burnett Paris, has already been voted one of the most viral campaigns of 2013. Let's check Emma out.
Emma. Huh? Emma. Emma.
Simple human idea rooted in human understanding that works in any language, in any geography, anywhere on the planet. Now let's look at a big idea that's fascinating the entire planet at this moment in time. Dove's Real Beauty Sketch Artist. It's a new campaign and one that's really still finding its shape and form, yet it's already been viewed 35 million times. Clearly, it has a wildfire effect.
I'm a forensic artist. Worked for the San Jose Police Department from 1995 to 2011.
I showed up to a place I'd never been, and there was a guy with a drafting board.
We couldn't see them, they couldn't see us.
Tell me about your hair.
I didn't know what he was doing, but then I could tell after several questions that he was drawing me.
Tell me about your chin.
It kind of protrudes a little bit, especially when I smile.
Your jaw.
My mom told me I had a big jaw.
What would be your most prominent feature?
Kind of have a fat, rounder face.
The older I've gotten, the more freckles I've gotten.
I would say I have a pretty big forehead.
Once I get a sketch, I say thank you very much, and then they leave. I don't see them.
All I had been told before the sketch was to get friendly with this other woman, Chloe.
Today I'm going to ask you some questions about a person you met earlier, and I'm going to ask you some general questions about their face.
She was thin, so you could see her cheekbones. And her chin, it was a nice, thin chin.
She had nice eyes. They lit up when she spoke.
Cute nose.
She had blue eyes, very nice blue eyes.
So here we go. This is the sketch that you helped me create. And that's a sketch that somebody described of you.
Yeah, that's...
She looks closed off and fatter, sadder too. The second one looks more open, friendly, and happy.
I should be more grateful of my natural beauty. It impacts the choices and the friends that we make, the jobs we apply for, how we treat our children. It impacts everything. It couldn't be more critical to your happiness.
Do you think you're more beautiful than you say?
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time as women analyzing and trying to fix the things that aren't quite right. And we should spend more time appreciating the things that we do like.
Beautiful example of human understanding and the beautiful idea behind that, but more importantly, just the power of creativity to change behavior and change the way people think and feel. In this case, the way they think and feel about themselves. One final piece I'd like to show you is for that iconic brand Jeep. Jeep believes in a world without roads, journeys without directions, a world without borders. Burnett Buenos Aires created an app for Jeep that gives people the freedom to explore the world by literally helping them to get lost. In a highly demanding industry like ours, who hasn't wanted to get lost every now and then? Let's take a look.
Congratulations, you're lost.
All of these are beautiful ideas that resonate with people, regardless of race, sex, or geography and location. What this shows you is the first rule of borderless creativity is quite simple. Creativity rooted in compelling human insights and mobilized by technology is culturally fluid. The second rule is the democratization of creativity. Technology has given everyone the right to be a creative. The means of production and the channels of distribution are being turned over to the masses. Every single one of us has access to a potential audience of millions on social media channels. But what does that mean for us? It means our competition isn't just advertising, it's all of humanity. We have to be as interesting as popular culture. You just saw Dove's Real Beauty sketch. Well, within 24 hours of the film's debut, a comedy group based in LA created a response that took the world by storm. With more than 3 million views, this wasn't created for Dove or by Dove, but it has accelerated Dove's message, or at least the insight that yes, all men certainly think they look like Brad Pitt. Because I know you do. What's more, it proves that we all have the right to be a creative and spread a global message. We have to create ideas that invite participation. More so, we need to be prepared to relinquish the control of our ideas and let them be reimagined, remixed, and repurposed. Rule 3, always on. When was the last time you turned your phone off? Most of you are using it right now. I mean, completely off. I can't remember the last time I did. Actually, I just did just now because I said it would interfere with the mic. But when was the last time your brand turned its communications initiatives off? With social media at the helm of our always-on culture, I'm sure the answer is neither never or rarely. What I want you to remember about rule number 3 is that we are in an always-on culture where the most successful brands are the most responsive ones. This notion has accelerated the need for spontaneity in marketing. The shift is multidimensional. Just as the barriers between us in space have collapsed, so have the barriers in time. Similar to the demands of global newsrooms, our always-on culture demands real-time engagement. Borderless means we need to respond to the shifts in not only where our message is, but when. Here are 2 beautiful examples of brands all using always on to connect with a current event that swept the USA, the 2013 Super Bowl blackout. While the stadium was on defense repairing the lights, brands were on the offensive creating marketing history. One of those newsmakers was Oreo and its tweet, "Dunkin' the Dog." This tweet used a combination of real-time storytelling and design to share a brand's purpose. Within an hour, it was retweeted 10,000 times. Burnett's All-State team also took the opportunity to throw a taste of real-time mayhem into its marketing mix and the game itself. Within minutes of the stadium lights going out, the brand went out with this Facebook post. "I meant to turn off the scoreboard. Sorry, everybody, wrong switch." In less than 1 day, more than 2,000 people shared an update and 90,000 people commented on it. You see, our work never stops. Creativity never pauses. It's always a work in progress. Both of these real-time branded efforts have since then been heralded as the true winners of the Super Bowl. In fact, it also demonstrates that at all times, real-time content curation has the potential, in this case, to trump traditional film. So we've looked at branded spontaneity within Always On. Now let's talk about the Always On idea. An idea that just so happens to be about my greatest passion, the beautiful game, football. And for all the Americans in the room, that's the one you play with your feet. Apologies. One of the most awarded campaigns, more importantly, one of the most effective campaigns in 2013 is Victoria FC, My Blood is Red and Black, created by Burnett, tailor-made in Sao Paulo. And this campaign was designed to play out over an entire football season, the whole season for Victoria. All season long, this brand was on its game. For many, this campaign was always on. A 10,000-second spot that released a new version week after week after week after week. And the campaign game. So basically, it had no schedule. When the season ended, the campaign didn't. What originated in Brazil now lives in perpetuity online, enjoying permanent digital fame. Just take a look at this really, really small case.
Throughout Brazil, there is a lack of blood in the blood banks. In the blood bank of the state of Bahia, the situation wasn't different. It's a fact. People only think about donating blood when someone they really like is in need. So to increase the donations, we made an invitation for people to donate blood for their greatest passion, their football team.
O esporte começa falando de uma novidade.
O Vitória conseguiu mobilizar a torcida.
Foi uma ideia criativa. Mudou até o tradicional uniforme rubro-negro do time.
Por um motivo nobre, doação de sangue.
We took off the red from the traditional jersey of Vitória from Bahia, one of the most important teams in Brazil, with more than 100 years of history. For the color to come back, fans would have to do their part, donate their blood for the club.
A campanha em prol do imóvel foi lançada sábado no jogo contra o Havaí.
Vitória sempre buscando você. É hora de retribuir.
Parabéns, Vitória. O rubro-negro tinha que beber porque está faltando sangue no Brasil e na Bahia.
A cada jogo, uma lista vermelha na camisa, simbolizando o número de doações.
O Vitória está fazendo uma campanha para doação de sangue. E elas vão voltar a vestir as cores rubro-negras.
Isso aí vai virar relíquia na história do Vitória, né?
A gente sabia que ia ter uma repercussão nacional, mas a repercussão internacional realmente foi uma grande surpresa para a gente.
Meu sangue é rubro-negro. Chega ao final dessa terça-feira. A parceria entre o Vitória e o Emoba aumentou o número de doadores de sangue na Bahia.
Eu acho que eu nunca fui tão impactado quanto essa campanha do Vitória.
An always-on idea that captivated a nation and changed the fortunes of a brand, but constantly interacted and engaged with people in a fresh new way. And that story continued for a long period of time. But always on is a daunting fact. And one that signals a really dramatic implications for our entire creative community and the behavior of brands. But if we embrace it, it's incredibly exciting. Let's move on to the fourth and final rule, our true north, global collaboration. What Borderless Creativity really does for us is open up remarkable possibilities for the way that we, as people, as organizations, operate and ultimately deliver for all of our clients. The first example, and a wonderful example, is the marriage between AHA and FIAP. Embryonic, but the beginning of something really strong and really, really fresh. And I believe that it's going to go on to the next level. And through their partnership, they are forging the path of the industry association collaboration model. Also, for us, our relationship between Burnett and Lapis, the collaboration that exists between those two, is incredibly fruitful and opens up infinite possibilities for creativity to connect with people in fresh new ways. Many of you in this room are part of larger agency networks with offices around the world. Many of us share clients, but how many of us share campaigns? We operate as one brand, but we don't always share the same creative vision. It's up to us to leverage the universal language of creativity and operate as one with one vision. Every single person in this room is in the business of creativity. It's our product, it's our currency. Part of the way Burnett unites its global creative group is through our GPC, the Global Product Committee. And it's our way of setting the benchmark for the quality of creative product that we create for our clients around the world. So regardless of city, country, or continent, we want our creative product to speak exactly the same language. And 4 times every year, the top international creative directors from around the network come together, unite, and judge the work. We discuss the thinking, we just debate the merits of the work. And on average, there's something like 1,000 pieces of work. Next week, I will be in Russia looking at the output from the network for the last 12 weeks. I get to see every single piece of work that leaves the office with a Burnett signature on. And it's really important because that product is a product of us and a product of our productivity, and that product is why we get paid. And it's that product that creates a difference in the marketplace and drives brands forward. And I'm proud to say that this year marks our 20th anniversary of that GPC. And since its infancy, many, many years ago, it's made a monumental contribution to the connective tissue that exists within the company. And as a true testament to the power of the GPC and the value of the GPC as our internal standard, we have more offices than any other creative network in the world contributing to our creative reputation. And we've held that title in the Gun Report for 12 years. And also, we lead New World Thinking, top in the All Guns Blazing category year after year with work that really thinks in a new way, acts in a new way, behaves in a new way. And what I'd like to leave you with today is one example of a wildfire idea of a titanium thought that really is designed to create good. This was the winner of the inaugural D&AD White Pencil this year. Recipes is a social movement aimed to join conflicting people together through food in celebration of one day each calendar year, an International Day of Peace. At its very, very heart, it's designed to break down barriers. Let's take a look at the case.
In a world of increasing violence, Peace One Day asked us to raise awareness for Peace Day, September 21st. We started by looking to the past. Throughout history, food has brought conflicting people together. This inspired us to create recipes, a movement that unites people over a shared meal. The universal symbol for peace is the olive branch, which we translated into the campaign centerpiece, the recipe's olive oil bottle. Placed in restaurants, people could use the oil to break bread together as a gesture toward settling their differences. Truce place settings also inspired patrons to resolve their conflicts. We launched in Chicago. In under 4 weeks, hundreds of restaurants, grocers, renowned chefs, and foodies joined the movement. Recipes posters that juxtaposed weapons with food, table tents, postcards, and napkins that doubled as peace flags directed diners to our website, where people could browse peace recipes they can make themselves or tweet to encourage feuding parties to come together. Recipes spread like wildfire, with thousands around the world tweeting their support. On Peace Day, members of the Jewish and Muslim communities came together to discuss the conflict in the Middle East. They were greeted by Diane Orr, founder of the All Nations Cafe, a cafe built at a checkpoint between the Israeli army and the Palestinian Authority. And over food, minds were changed.
I can see that many of us have kind of shifted in our thinking.
I was able to make connections that I couldn't make before.
Schools held student peace dinners, and with celebrity chefs, food websites, and publications all embracing recipes, we were able to reach millions. But most importantly, Recipes created mass awareness for Peace Day through a movement that will continue to grow one meal at a time.
So I personally have high hopes of that, because I think that is a seed of an idea that hopefully will go from strength to strength and really create, connected tissue the world over, in very much the same way as we created Earth Hour, which is now on average has about 1.7 billion people taking part in it on an annual basis. So there you have it, really, the 4 rules of creativity without borders: cultural fluidity, democratization of creativity, always on, and global collaboration. Our industry's future is all about discovery. It's all about curiosity. Our world, the world we operate in right now, is a creative blank canvas that has no borders. And we can draw much inspiration from a quote written by a brilliant explorer himself, Christopher Columbus. This was a man who was always searching for the new, always looking for new horizons. So I'd like to leave you with one parting thought. You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. And I think that's great counsel for each and every one of us as we embark on the next chapter, the next journey that we undertake. So thank you for your time today.
We have some time for questions. I wanted to ask you, it's an interesting point that you talked about, the creativity is always on, never closes. Consumers are kind of a rival in creativity. I mean, we are humans and we have all this input and content. How do you prepare as an advertising agency and as a client to really compete at that level? I mean, we know, and I'm not going to put the blame on clients and budgets and legal and all that because that's easy. But how do you prepare your teams globally to really be on the lookout on the next new thing or the new thing or creating a new thing? As an example, Harlem Shuffle started, and every agency in the world had to have one. By the time an agency started doing it, consumers were moving on to something else. So how do you prepare, creatively to be challenging? I think it's the other way around. I think advertising agencies should challenge humanity for competing. So what is your point of view on that?
I remember many years ago, I was in London, coming back from an award show, a bit like FIAP will be tonight, and with 3 guys in a car, and everybody was wearing a black suit, and everybody was holding little shiny metal objects for work that they'd won for Nike and for Sony and for Volkswagen. And the taxi driver, this London taxi driver, was driving along, and he looked over, he goes, so what game are you boys in then? And we're driving down the Mall, and we said, oh, we're in advertising. And we've just been to the Grosvenor House, and we just won this shiny award for advertising. Advertising. Gives the punters something to look at, I suppose. Gives the punters something to look at, I suppose. And it was the first time the penny dropped. When he realized nobody is interested in advertising. Nobody. We intrude in people's lives, and we have to give them something in return for their airtime, for their investment. And now, they have technology. Now they're able to create themselves. Some of them believe that they can do it better than we can, and a lot of people can. So we have to, first and foremost, be interesting. And I think we can cite many examples of ideas that capture people's imagination and spread like wildfire throughout the world. But first and foremost, we have to capture people's imagination. And I believe what drives brands is not advertising, is not selling, it's not what a brand is or what a brand does, but what a brand means to people, the value it creates in their life, the service it creates in people's lives. So brands, accordingly, have to know who they are. They have to know why they exist, and they have to have conviction and a set of convictions. And those are not advertising disposable propositions, they're beliefs. Nike knows who it is. Apple knows who it is. Volkswagen knows who it is. They tell that story in different ways, imaginative ways, creative ways, every single day of the week, and do it in fresh, interesting ways. So we're looking for an idea that sparks that interest, that creates that association, and creates that reward from people. I first came to America 12 years ago, and on the Sunday evening, there was a program on national TV, the top 100 commercials in North America, the people's choice. The commercials that the people have decided are the most interesting, the most entertaining, and the most rewarding. So I felt duty bound to wade through 100 American commercials. And so an hour into this, it's slightly getting better, thinking that maybe the last half will be good, maybe they'll score in the 90th minute. And anyway, got to the top 10, and they were good. And then they said, now, the #1 commercial in the United States of America, the commercial that you, the people, voted the best. The #1 commercial in America was a commercial that we did in London for John West Bear, the Kung Fu fighting bear. It was the #1 commercial in America. People didn't know where they saw it. They didn't care where they saw it. They saw it on the screen, and screens are everywhere today. Well, my point is, it captured their imagination. Sales of John West went up 55% in Australia, and of course that commercial never ran in Australia. So it was owned by people, shared by people, enjoyed by people, and there was a direct link to business growth and business success. And I believe the higher the creativity, the greater the effect. There's a direct correlation between the two. When we have to find those magical ideas that resonate with people, and we can think our way to a certain level, we try to find formulas, but we can't manufacture communication. And people live their lives in real time. We have to keep pace with them and find those ideas that ignite their imagination. If they want entertainment, if they want to find things that interest them, they go online. There's a wealth, an infinite wealth of everything out there that we can tap into. So that's what I mean about being as interesting and as rewarding as popular culture. And I think so often we stay within our advertising box. Think, well, we just have to talk to people that way and sell at people. But people are not listening anymore. We have to create content that people want to buy. And that demand imagination.